Hello again, everyone. My name is Tyler Warlow. I go by the Mengineer, and I'm here to help you engineer your life. Today's topic is going to be about men's hygiene and 5 tips that I think every guy should know. So let's jump into the video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to say is every single one of you guys should be showering on a regular basis. At a minimum, I think every other day should be happening, but especially if you're doing some more work that's like outdoors, or if you work out fairly regularly, you should definitely be doing that more often. And you want to make sure that you're scrubbing the common problem areas. Make sure that you're really scrubbing underneath the arms and your groin. Those areas tend to accumulate a lot of smell and sweat, and then that can come off even if you put on things like deodorant. So it's incredibly important that you maintain a regular shower schedule. Some other areas that you want to make sure you're getting is washing your feet. Those areas can build up dirt and grime and bacteria that you don't really recognize. And make sure that you're getting your back. When I was younger, I used to have a big problem with back knee, so make sure that you're getting your back and washing that thoroughly as well. Again, make sure that you're showering on a regular basis and getting all the typical problem areas. The next thing that you want to be doing is making sure that you have good oral hygiene. Now, I know it can be tempting to skip brushing your teeth if you've had a long night, but it's incredibly important that you maintain a consistent schedule in terms of your oral care, because later down the road, this can pay dividends. You don't want to be one of those people in their 60s and their 70s who have their teeth falling out and have to have dentures, and you can do that by taking care of your oral health. You obviously want to be brushing your teeth twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. And then I highly recommend flossing. I did not always floss, and I got a rude awakening at my last dentist appointment. The dentist did their typical thing, their routine oral examination, and then my mouth hurt me for literally the rest of the day because my gum health was not in a good place. And that can be indicative of some deeper problems, which can lead to poor gum health later down the road, which can cause issues with you potentially having to get teeth removed. So make sure that you're flossing every night as well. Ideally, if you have the time to do that, try to do it at least after every meal and get those chunks. That's going to help keep your gum health optimal, and it's just going to help improve your breath overall because you're not going to have bits of food that are stuck in your teeth. And then the last part that can go along with that is make sure that you're scraping your tongue off at the end of the night. A lot of bacteria and stuff can accumulate there, which can help lead to bad breath. So make sure that you're scraping your tongue off. You can do that with your toothbrush. Make sure you rinse it off, obviously, or you can buy a tongue scraper. Now, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is a pretty big one, as a lot of guys are impacted about it, and it is your facial hair. So the first thing that I'm gonna say is if you're young and your facial hair is just now starting to come in, I would just shave it off. I would not try to grow it out, see what it looks like. You can see this picture of me the first time that I really tried to grow out my facial hair. It did not go well. If you're young and you've kind of got just like those wispy bits, I would just shave it off. It kind of makes your face look a little dirty. So just go clean shaven. Once you're a little older and you're starting to have a more full look, you can start experimenting with different styles. As you can see, I'm a little patchy on the sides, so I choose to keep that shorter and have like a longer mustache. But you want to experiment with the styles, and of course keep things trimmed, keep things cut clean so it doesn't look messy. One important tip that I've heard from a lot of different YouTubers and a lot of different people is when it comes to where should I shave my neckline. And here's the number one most important tip that I've heard in regards to that. You take your finger, you put it against the top of your Adam's apple, and that's where you should shave. So not any higher, not any lower. That's where you should be shaving, and that's gonna help make it so the skin at the bottom of your neck isn't kind of showing in comparison to the darkness of the rest of your beard. That's my number one tip for taking care of your facial hair. And moving on to the next thing. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is making sure that you take care of your fingers and your nails. Keep those things trimmed, keep them short. If you have a job that needs you to have longer nails, like I know a lot of guitar musicians do finger picking and that requires longer nails. If you're going to have longer nails, make sure that you're keeping them clean and not getting a bunch of dirt and nastiness in them. It's just not that attractive of a look to a future partner when you've got a whole bunch of junk and grime caught in your fingernails. And that goes for your toenails as well. Keep them trimmed nice. You don't want to be having long toenails that are when you're in bed with your partner, potentially cutting or poking their leg and they're feeling uncomfortable. So just keep them trimmed nice and short. And again, if you can't, keep them clean, and keeping them clean goes for when they're short as well. But that's just gonna help a lot in terms of your personal hygiene. Now this next one is gonna seem like common sense, but please, please, please wear deodorant. It is not attractive at all when you go around smelling, especially if you're at the gym. When you're the one person that really stinks and people can smell you, it kind of causes people to move around and away from you. So make sure that you're wearing deodorant. I personally carry an extra deodorant with me in my book bag for work or in my car, just in case, like if I did forget to put on some deodorant and I start to smell a little bit, oh, I forgot, let's put some on, so that way I'm not going the rest of the day smelling like BO. So please, please, please make sure that you're putting on deodorant, and make sure you find a deodorant that's right for you. A lot of people, I recommend going for aluminum free, but for some people that's not possible. Make sure that you experiment, make sure that you find something that works for you. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to be talking about today is make sure that you're wearing clean clothing. This goes for your outerwear, like your shirt and your pants, as well as your underwear and your socks. Now, when it comes to pants, pants can be worn a few times before they need to start being washed. That's one of the nice things about pants, is they can kind of be broken in. But when it comes to the shirt that's coming into direct contact with like your underarms, as well as your underwear and your socks, the places that get a lot of that sweat and moisture, you really want to make sure you're changing those and wearing fresh clothes every single day, because otherwise they can get bacteria buildup, and if you don't wash them, they can get stains on them as well, which is really just not attractive. It makes you look dirty and gross. Even if they might be clean, they can look dirty. I recommend making sure you're wearing fresh clothing, socks, underwear especially, and shirt and pants. What I personally do is I keep a spare set of clothing with me in the back of my car in case something happens where I do need to change. I've had multiple instances where stuff got spilled on my pants or I got mud on something, and if I hadn't had that spare piece of clothing, I would have gone the rest of my day looking dirty. Highly recommend making sure that you wear clean clothes. It's going to keep you looking nice, it's going to keep you smelling fresh, and it will just overall be a better look. So those are my main 5 hygiene tips. If you would like to know any more, or if you have any of your own personal suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, you can find my most recent video right here. And this is the Mengineer signing off.